What is going on? Welcome to the Abnormal Notary Show. I am Ty. Thank you so much for joining us. I am elated to have Jeremiah Amaku on the show. We're going to be talking about a lot of things on the show. So get ready because I'm excited. I'm going to bring him on. And then we're just going to do what we do best, is have a good conversation. I apologize for this light, y'all. I don't know what this is. Maybe I can turn this way. Nope, this way. Nope. I don't know. Anyway, let's rock out. What's going on? How are you?
Listen. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome.
I am very, I'm very excited. I brought you a glass. I brought me a glass. You were supposed to be in Oakland, but you didn't make it, so I'm going to take care of this for you.
I appreciate you. Cheers.
But, cheers. But let me pop this real quick, just.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Pour it up. You like it to fill all the way to the top or not?
Yeah, I like it all the way to the top, please.
All the way to the top? Okay.
Yes, please.
How's that? Right there? Stop.
Perfect.
All right, go.
Cheers.
Yeah. I think now I'm excited because I really hope that some people are going to hear something that they've probably never heard before.
True. Facts.
They'll learn something that they didn't know, and maybe they see a perspective that they may not have ever seen before. So overall, I'm pretty excited. I'm focused on the business of Notary Public. That's my focus.
So let's do it. So I'm about to give you the stage. Do what you do, Doc, and I will come back. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm focused on the business of Notary Public. Like, I have to make that very, very, very clear that there are people out there who have Notary Public commissions, and they are not getting the results that let's say that they were lured in to get, all right? However you want to take that, right? They may have been introduced to the profession of Notary Public, not the business, all right? They've been introduced to the profession of Notary Public business by a normal, a variety of different channels, right? And, they're given advice and they're given tips and they're given all this training. And it's essentially, you need to work harder. You need to work more. You need to become more efficient. And I'm talking specifically about loan signing agents, right? Notary signing agents. And I've kind of grown this reputation that people think I have something against loan signing agents, but I have nothing against loan signing agents. And I say there's nothing wrong with doing loan docs. Absolutely not. And but I simply knew that when I got into this profession, okay, that I wanted a business. I was very, very specific about that. And over time, you learn that maybe you admit it, maybe you don't, but over time you learn that based on certain indicators and certain markers that what I was doing wasn't a business. It was a job. And in fact, if I did it more, and then I would attain these certain benchmarks, right? Some people want to make $10,000 in a month. Some people want to make $100,000 in a year. And it's possible. You can do this. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I wanted a business, all right? I wanted a business. I didn't want a job. I was very clear about that, very distinct. And when I recognized these certain signs, I said, this sounds, or this looks, and this feels like a job. So let me stop this. And there was nothing wrong with it. I stopped. And so I continued to focus on the business of Notary Public, all right? The business. So effectively what I did was I sought out the tools and what did I need in order to have a functioning business. All right, first I got the tools that I needed. And then I learned how do I use these tools? How do I implement these tools? How do I put them into practical application? How do I make these work? And then as that began to progress, next thing I knew, I had a full functioning notary business, right? One in which that did not require you to be there, right? Because when you're loan signing, you actually have to be there, right? That's one of the hallmarks of a job. You have to be present in order for this to happen. With my perspective, I wanted that to be optional. I didn't want to necessarily have to be there in order to do it, right? That would be a functioning business. So that's what I accomplished. That's what I attained. And a lot of these principles, this isn't new stuff, right? I'm not doing anything that's revolutionary necessarily, right? It's just that when you approach this profession and you have the perspective that, I'm here to, it's very simple. I'm here to have a business. And I'm not here to necessarily work myself to death. Then that opens up, it unlocks a number of windows. It gives you a fresh perspective, a clear view as to what direction you're headed in. Now, I didn't introduce myself properly, right? My name is Ete-kamba Jeremiah Amaku.
Hey, say it again.
Ete-kamba Jeremiah Amaku. And, I've been told that it's a beautiful name.
Cool name.
And I've been told that, names have meanings. And words have power. So when you give things the proper title and call these things by their right names, loan signing agent versus Notary Public business, then you have a very clear perspective as to what you have, what is it that you have in your possession. So that's why I always make sure people's names are correct on documents, right? You got to double check the spelling, double check the titles, double check middle names, middle initials, last names, surnames, maiden names, all these things, right? Very particular about that. But just a little bit more background about me. I am a certified athletic trainer. I have, a few degrees, right? A few national certifications and, all this bunch of letters behind my name and whatever that means, whether that you like to take that as impressive or not. But I have a career as a healthcare professional in pediatric orthopedics. I worked in adult sports medicine for 10 years, basically shoulders and knees. It's not life or death, but nonetheless, getting the active population, young adults to young kids now, back to sports is my profession. That's what I do. Ruptured ligaments, torn tendons, fractured bones, even a little bit of concussions nowadays. Some spine related.
You're talking to somebody that has torn pretty much every part of their body.
Oh,
both
wow.
knees have had surgeries, kneecaps displaced. Yes. I feel you.
So you know what an athletic trainer is?
Yes, I do.
Basically. Okay. So that's what I did for a long time. I did it at the highest level. I still do it, by the way. I still do that. And I love it. I enjoy it. But at the same time, sports were canceled for a whole year, right? Schools were out for a whole year. If you guys didn't know this, right? Here in California, other states I know have returned and resumed sports, but here in California, things have been a little bit slow, and we're just now getting back. In that time, during that period, it gave me the resource that everybody's looking for. You know what that resource is, Ty?
No, what is it?
It wasn't money, right? It wasn't knowledge. Time. Time is your most precious resource. It's not about the money. It's not about the knowledge, which is an excellent resource, but time. It gave me time, and it gave me time to implement some of these strategies that I'm applying. And the reason why I bring up that whole medical side is because at the highest level, I work with literally shoulder to shoulder with the best shoulder surgeons in the world, literally the best knee surgeons in the world, the best foot and ankle surgeons in the world, right? If not the world, then definitely the North American continent, for sure, without question. Dr. Peter Millett, Dr. Thomas Clatton, Dr. Robert LaPrade, Dr. Donald Corman. These are the guys, right?
Yeah.
And but what I saw was how robust and how proficient and how quick they ran, right? They got rid of all the small stuff, all the little stuff. And then they focus on what is it that you need. You came to me because you dislocated your patella. Okay, you need an MPFL reconstruction, medial patellofemoral ligament reconstruction. You need a trochleoplasty.
Listen, you better call them words. You better call them.
Yeah, listen, they know you. Listen, Ty, you come to me for if I'm your physician, if I'm your doctor, you come to me for. I mean, maybe a number of reasons why you come to me. Maybe you want to talk to me. I don't know, but effectively, I can do what it is that you want me to do. The only question is, you know what that only question left is? It's only one question left. You already know I got what you need. I can help you. The only remaining question is, when do you want it? You want it now so you can get back to running? You want it later so that you can take the season off? And so notary, I approach it in the same way. I got rid of all these small things that people tend to spend a lot of time on. What type of document do you have? Can I notarize this document? How many signatures do you need? Where do you live? How far do I need to travel? Where do I stamp here? What type of wording do I need? Like all that stuff. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, it's kind of irrelevant. And I'm gonna, hopefully over the course of this hour, we'll kind of get into that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into it. Trust me.
Yeah. So I brought that same level of approach, that same level of efficiency and perspective to the notary business. And listen, this is what I really want to say, right? Let's just get into it, right? I'm gonna take a sip real quick. Listen. This is good, by the way. Probably need a little bit more. I don't know. Straight from the banana, joking. Straight from the bottom. There's really no such thing as a good business, to be honest. Right?
Speak on it. What do you mean?
There's really no such thing as a good business.
Okay.
Ty car dealership, Ty's Donuts, Ty's laundromat, Ty's peanut bar, popcorn accessories. You have a business. A business is a business, right? But is it good inherently right out the gate? You have a t-shirt business. You have a tire shop. All these, whatever you want to say. What really makes it a good business? What makes it a good business are the tools that you employ, right? Obviously, you need a good product, right? You can't sell cars. You can't sell crappy cars and then just put a Band-Aid over it. Fact. Like Toyota, good car. Honda, good car, right? For the most part, good car. Now, when you open up Ty's dealership on the corner of 5th Street in Maine, now, if Ty doesn't do very good business, meaning, late to appointments, the service department never has any supplies because your inventory quality is off, and then your front desk people don't answer the phone, and your credit finance guys are miscalculating. They're using bad tools. So now all of a sudden your business suffers. So the tools that you apply to operate that donut shop or to operate that gas station, those are what makes you a good business. That's the stuff that makes it a good business. Notary Public profession is no different. It's no different. But what are you using to make it a business? Are you doing loan signing primarily? Is that working for you? If it is, good. If it isn't, maybe you should try something else. But what else do you try? Do you know what that is? Right? So there are options. So for a lot of people, there are options, but do they know?
There's a lot of options. So I've seen a lot of people that have come into this business and they say, well, how do I have time? Right? You mentioned time. How do I have time to be able to manage being a notary public, being a loan signing agent? There are so many different niches that you can get into. How do I know which way to navigate when all you have is time, right? So for me, when I started in the business, I didn't consider time. I considered I need to make this money any means possible. I'm working from dusk till dawn, right? Not truly realizing that what I'm trying to create is a business and that takes time, right? So in order for me to do that, I need to have the tools. I need to be able to network. I need to be able to do all of these things. So when you have someone that's coming in and they see these commercials, and I'm probably repeating myself over and over, but you see these people that see commercials, right? And you know the commercials that I'm talking about. You can make 10,000, 15,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mark Wheels. Yep. Loan signing agent, loan signing program. Yep.
Call it. Okay. But what people don't realize is when you get into
great marketing,
amazing marketing. I say,
give it to them. Hands down, great marketing.
Yes. So when you get into this business and they see that commercial and they say, okay, but if they're telling me I can make $10,000, $12,000 in a month, how much time do I have to take to be able to make that amount of money? Then when they get into the business, well, hang on, why am I not making this amount? You told me I could do this and I could, but why? So as a notary public and as a loan signing agent, when you come into this business, right, how do you discern between time and between money?
How long do you have to go to college, Ty? Generally speaking.
4 years, generally.
Generally speaking, right? You get a 4
years. Depending on your specialty, of course.
Yeah, exactly, right? Not everybody needs to go to college, though, right?
I didn't. I dropped out. I'll put it out. I dropped out.
Yep. Yeah, right? It ain't for everybody. It's all good. It's all good. But while you were there, you probably noticed something. You are learning a skill. You're learning a profession. Those 4 years that you spoke about, whether it's 2 years, whether it's 1 year, however it is, those 4 years are for you to learn. And then once you leave that institution, you go into a job. Most likely, right?
So basically you spent the time in college to get your education. That's your time. Yes. Now you're about to change. Okay, I'm following.
All right. And then once you get to that job, how long does it take for you to actually get comfortable with this new environment, right? At least, it's different for everybody, but I'm going to say at least, reasonably speaking, it's going to take at least 6 months or a year to get good at anything. I don't care what it is.
I agree.
Can be highest marks coming out of, you can magna cum laude, whatever. It's going to take you at least 6 months or a year to actually get. That time is for you to learn.
Yes.
Those 4 years that you spent, that time is for you to learn the business. Learn. Watch. Observe, take notes, fail, try again, have success, fine tune it. So when you tell somebody they can make $10,000 a month, $8,000, $4,000 a month, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. It's possible. It's not impossible. You can absolutely do that, but it's going to cost you something, isn't it? It's going to cost you some time, right? Because you can get to work and then you can work 60 hours a month, 60 hours a week, 120 hours pay period, whatever, and then you'll get the results because you're working overtime. Now, here's the question. How much is an hour of your time worth?
Oof.
I'm not asking you directly, Ty, but I'm asking everybody. I'm asking Blue Scorpio, Kimberly. I'm asking Griffin. What's up, Griff? What's up, Griff? I'm asking Katrina, Stacey. I'm asking how much is an hour of your time worth? Can you give me a number off the top of your head? Have you actually calculated that? Do you know how to calculate that? Because you really can. But have you taken the time, those 4 years? Have you taken those 2 years? Have you taken that period to learn what it is that you were worth? Okay, because you may figure out that, yeah, this signing service or the title company is giving me this assignment for $65 or $90 or $125 or $275 to conduct this refinance mortgage, and I have to travel 35 minutes outside of town, sit there for an hour, then I have to go back and scan it, then I have to go back and travel to FedEx, I have to stand in line at UPS store, not to mention the scanning, the printing and the sorting, or not even mention the back and forth that I have to call the loan signing agent or the companies or the signing services because they were late on the docs. And then you have to sit and there's all these things that have to factor into place. Now, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? Because it works for some people, not everybody, but it works for some people. And if it does, then that works, that's good. But at the same time, how much is an hour of your time worth? If you know an hour of your time is worth $95, then use that number to then say, all right, here I am putting in, X amount of hours. And now my actual time cost ratio is actually, more like $45. You can take that. That's okay. But if you don't want to take that, then don't take that. Because people complain about these signing services paying them less and less and less. And to be perfectly honest, they have the right to do that. It's their business. You don't have to take it. I get that. You don't have to necessarily accept that. But understand, you do have to, those 4 years that you're taking, right, to get acquainted with the job or to get acquainted with, doing this work, that may come with it. And that's okay, right? That's okay. Now, at some point, you're not going to want to do that anymore. And that's exactly at about that 6 month, the 12-month period, people start realizing, you know what? This ain't worth my time. This is not worth my time. For whatever reason, because they get influenced by some other video that they saw, another video that they saw, or another friend that's doing it tremendously well. Yep. Then they start measuring themselves against other people. But again, you got to know what is an hour of your time worth.
So what if somebody what if somebody came out and Griff just said something? He says, I spent the last 3 years to build my business to average $100 per signing. Some people, when they get in this business, they don't want to get out their house for $150.
Don't do it then.
Okay. So this is the question. So if you have a newbie that's coming into the game, right? Facebook group chatter galore. Oh, I'm not leaving my house for XYZ dollars. So then you have a newbie coming out saying, well, but should I do that too? Should I wait for $150? You never had a signing ever. Do you quiet the noise and listen to the seasoned people or people that say they're not going to get out? Or do you say, you know what? If I need to start my business, I need to start somewhere, even if it is $60. What are your thoughts?
I say, I look that newbie right in the face, because this actually happened too. I look the newbie right in the face and I say, newbie, don't take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it.
Okay. Okay.
Here's why.
I never get experience. Okay, I'm listening to you why.
Here's why. Because you signed up for a job. Or did you sign up for a business? Because if it's a business, businesses, they create their own rates. You call your own rates. Then if you are running a Notary Public business, then you set the rate at whatever you want to set it. You set it at 125, set it at 125. You don't think you should go less than 150, set it at 150. But if you are working a loan signing job, all right, then, and if someone's paying you $60 or $90, then you should take it. Right? Take that. If you need the experience, if you need to overcome this barrier of fear that you may have, because that fear, that fear, there's a source of that fear. And you can overcome that fear. That fear comes from this, maybe someone told you that you need to know these documents inside and out. You need to know every single aspect, every single line component of these documents. And that may not be the case. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but you need to study these documents over and over till death. Yeah. Endlessly. And that's not the case. You don't have to study these documents. Listen, I make the point that you really shouldn't be talking anyway. You get to these appointments, you really shouldn't say anything.
Listen, this is my thing. This is what I tend to do, Doc, is I tend to just pop questions up in comments and whatnot. So we'll do that. One thing I want to let you know that Doc will be providing 2 of his, you said books, right?
Oh yeah. They're video books actually. So people don't like to read. I know some people don't like to read.
I know. So we'll be giving some of those away, 2 of those away at the bottom. Probably in about 6 minutes. We'll do one and then again at the top of the hour. So here are some questions. Dominique says, I've gotten caught up in that noise and I'm learning that it's more about building the relationships than chasing those higher dollars. After starting to watch Ty and Griff, oh, thank you, Queen. I am shifting my focus. This is what I'll tell you. A lot of people get in this business and then they get disappointed when they find out that the Mark Willis commercial that they said they can make $10,000 or $12,000 didn't happen. But in fact, to your point, it can happen. You just have to create the business. You have to create the relationships. You have to create the networking. And above everything else, you have to quiet the noise. Like, I'm a proponent of stop listening to what people say. If it doesn't make sense for you and your business, why do it? Right? Mm-hmm. Why do it? I want to get to some of your questions real quick. Some of your
first, I want to say something about that though, because sure, yeah, you can make $10,000 a month. But think about it this way. You might make you might just have gotten into this profession, right? I call it profession. Hopefully that's okay with you, Ty. I call it profession. Anyway, you might have gotten into this profession, and you know, you make $500 for like the first time ever, like outside of a W-2 job. Like you just came out of the employee world. There's an employee world and there's an entrepreneur world. If you didn't know this, guys, you may just come out of that employee world. You got one foot in, one foot out, and you make $500 outside, like on your own. You're like, wow, that's fantastic. Then you make $1,000, and then the next month you make $1,500, right? And you can see this gradual growth, and you also notice that this is coming with a lifestyle. You have to commit more time to this, right? Mm-hmm. And then it will come a day where you're able to pay like your car note with what you're doing as a so-called side hustle. You're like, wow, now I'm able to make groceries like consistently. Maybe you get to a point after a few months where you pay a couple of bills. Now you can pay like your light bill, your cable bill, your garbage, and like wow, this money is like bringing in enough income so where I can cover certain life expenses, right? Then you get to the point time, Shining Star, Griff, Synosha, you get to a point where you pay off a credit card. Wow, I had like, I don't know, $10,000 of debt. Kimberly had like $20,000 of debt. Katrina had like $20,000 of debt. And then all of a sudden you get to a point where you pay off that credit card. And then Kimmy Vet, you get to the point where you start, maybe it's a year, maybe after a year and a half, you get to the point where you pay your rent. You can pay your mortgage on a consistent basis. And you're like, wow, I'm generating $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. And I can cover like my actual mortgage. And then maybe you have a spouse or you have a friend, and now you're covering some of their expenses. Now you're going out to trips. Now you take it. Now you got a month. You see what I'm saying? There's a gradual increase here. But listen, when you get to that point of making $7,000 a month on a consistent basis as a loan signing agent job, okay, there's a certain level of revs that you have to maintain, right? You are doing a maybe 30 appointments, 60 appointments, 50 appointments, however many, and you have to maintain that, because once you stop signing, doesn't the money stop coming? Once you stop taking appointments, you take a 2-week break because you've been revving yourself for the last 4 months, and then your car breaks down, and then your wife says, you know what, I haven't seen the last 2 days, and then your health starts to, maybe you get a little bit fatigued, exhausted, maybe you fall asleep on a midnight run because you're coming back scanning documents really late and trying to drop them off before the deadline, and then you fall asleep on the side of the road or while you're in traffic, and then you hit into this guardrail, and then it's a wake-up call. You've been running yourself physically. Again, I come from a medical background. Okay, I have license, I have degrees. I'm not going to list them all, but I know what toll it takes on the human body, right? Yeah. I understand that part. But you get to that point where you're running so much, so high, and then you reach the point where you can cover all these expenses, where you can cover your rent now. But if you stop, you take a 2-week break, it goes down. That's why you'll see a trend after so many months where people make so much money, and then you see the trend where they kind of fall off. And then your lifestyle is at that same level, right? So you may feel an obligation to continue to run that level, to continue at that high pace. And that's where it gets a little dangerous. And that's the point where people start to say, well, you know what? Maybe this ain't worth it. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe there's a better way of doing this. And then that's when they start asking for raises. They start asking for going direct, right? I need $275 for every appointment I take now, rather than that. And that's when I refuse to do the $60 or $70 packages, right? And that's where the problem starts to bubble. And that is inevitable. It's just a matter of time before that happens.
Okay.
Right.
So let's do this. I'm going to pop this question up, and this is going to kind of segue into what you believe as general notary. There is no such thing. So there is a question from Tracy. Good morning, everyone. A new Notary Public here in Ohio. I'm very excited. I've registered my LLC with the state, and I'm ready to go. Please help me with advice for starting with General Notary Work. What is your brain about there's no such thing about general notary work. Can you expound on that?
Tracy, good morning. You come to the right place. Now, Tracy, there's no such thing as general notary work. So my first recommendation, stop calling it general notary work. Someone Googles Tracy Reed's notary services, they're not looking for general notary work. They're going to call you, they're going to get in contact with you, they're going to email you, however they're going to get in contact with you. They're not going to say, hey, can you give me just a general notary? Most people who call you don't really even know what a notary is.
Facts.
They were just told, here's a piece of paper.
Go find a notary.
Go find a notary. Go find a notary. Go find a notary. Go get a notary. Go get somebody to sign this. You're like, what is a notary? I know you don't think this because you are all notaries and you are trained professionals. You guys are skilled. You have education. You've been in this world. But believe me when I say this, there are people, and if you go on my Instagram, Dr. Tekk Music, I have a number of videos where I show this live, unedited. People call you and they don't know what they're looking for. They call you because someone told them, like the hospital told them that they need to go get this power of attorney signed. The bank told them that they need to go get this power of attorney signed. The whatever office told them that they need to go get this. And then they say, all right, I need to go find a notary. I don't know what notary is. But they're not looking for general notary. Tell them what they're looking for. Ask them. You can ask them, but don't expect them to elaborate on this, right? They're not going to. They maybe there's a lot of people who actually do know, they do this all the time. It's just a part of the business that they do, right? They have to update their wills or update their family trust, and they know this is customary. They know, but that's not a large case of people. And I prove this. I have numbers to prove this, by the way, too. That 74.5% of people who call me within a 6-month period, they wanted what I erroneously call a general notary. But in fact, what they're looking for was an application for a birth certificate. They're looking for a signature for a liquor license. They need a interfamily property transfer. There are specific documents that people need, right? They need. General notary work is a very vague term. So I say there's no such thing as general notary work, right? I know it's kind of splitting hairs, kind of semantic, right? I get that part, right? I know what you mean by that. Yes, there is a such thing as a category, but what I'm saying is hyper-focus that, hyper-target that, right? When you ask people, well, what is it that you need? Don't expect them to tell you, because they may say something, but it may not in fact be the case. When you get to their house and like, hey, what is this? I asked them, well, let me answer the question. So the advice for her was, how do you
get started? How you get started in notary work?
Okay. Here's what you do. Make yourself available. If someone calls you, they're going to say, all right, can you sign? I have a document that the Wells Fargo sent to my house, and I've got to take care of some account information for my wife who's in the hospital. Can you sign this? Or, what they're pretty much asking you is, are you available to come help me take care of some business? This is what they're asking. This is what they're really asking, right? They don't know that they're asking this question, but what they're asking is, are you available for me to come to you, or are you available because I didn't know you were a mobile? Wow, that's so new to me. I didn't know this was a thing. You can come to me? Okay, when can you come to me and do this? That's what they're really, truly asking you. So make yourself available. Convey that message to this person that, hey, Tracy, thanks for calling Tracy Reed's Notary. Now, I understand that you live in Los Angeles, California. You have a single signature document. Okay, I can come take care of this for you at 12 o'clock, at 12:45, or 1:30. Which one do you want? That's how you do your general notary work, just like that.
So here's my question. So first, with that being said, Okay. With that being said, with General Notary Work, I would always tell people get a Google My Business page. So if you guys don't have one, Google My Business is important. So get one. There's a lot of tutorials that are out there. So I would say do that. We're going to get to the questions in just a second. I appreciate y'all joining very, very much. Doc has a lot of different perspectives.
Google My Business is perfect, by the way. I love
that. Google My Business is everything. Like if that's how, honestly, without even advertising, when people put in, hey, notary near me, typically my Google My Business page pops up, and that's how I get most of my business.
There's a step before Google My Business, though, that you have to take, though. I mean, listen, you don't have to listen to anything I say. Just like when you go to the doctor, they can give you all these recommendations. You don't have to. You are your own human being. You can do whatever the hell you want. We're just making suggestions, and this is from experience. Ty's very experienced. I'm experienced, and we are connected with people who are experienced. Connectivity is another thing we should talk about. Connection, right? But before you start, well, Google My Business is perfect. If you don't have Google My Business, you should definitely hop on that, right? But if 5 people all of a sudden, let's say you get 3 calls per day, but let's say all of a sudden 5 more extra people per day started calling you because you have an outstanding, optimized Google My Business page, and all of a sudden that 2 or 3 calls per day actually shot up to about 8 calls per day. A lot of people think that, all right, now I'm rolling now. That's the solution. But all you have are just more calls. How are you actually converting those calls? How are you making sure that you are in fact helping these people, right? Google My Business is perfect, but there's a step right before that you gotta actually understand. 1,000 people can call you a day.
Conversion.
1,000, yeah. But what are you telling these people? And this is where loan signing agent versus Notary Public business this is the crossroads where they split right at this point. We got the Google My Business page, but there's a step right before that. Right under, there's like, let's say there are 3 steps. Third step was Google My Business, but step number 2, there's a step before that I've identified. And I saw there was a question here that said, how do you juggle being general notary working full-time job?
Who was that? Who said that?
Oh, goodness.
Shining Star?
Yeah. This is the step I'm talking. This is how you answer that, right? That step right before the Google My Business is making yourself available, number 1, right?
Answering the phone.
Answering the phone is definitely number 1. And then when you answer this phone, what is it that you're telling these people? How are you getting these people to convert? Right. I talk about this on my Instagram page, and I have tons of examples of this. Right. You have to help these people along in the customer journey. Right. People are going to call you. Your phone's going to ring. But what are you telling people? And when I talk about this is where loan signing agents and general notary work split. This is when a loan signing agent, you may have been trained to scrutinize or to examine these docs. You have to figure out when they call you, you're almost interrogating this person as to what is it that they have, because they may say something that you've never heard before, right? It's not a refinance package. It's not a reverse mortgage. It's not a seller's package. It's not a cash buying package. It's not anything you've necessarily heard of, and that might intimidate you, maybe apprehensive to move forward. So you're not exactly sure what the next question is. And this is what I'm saying. Loan signing agent training, it's a job training. I mean, no shades to anybody. I mean, but this is what it is. When you have this understanding, when you're very clear and concise about this, then you can make the correct move. You can make the correct pivot, and you can in fact do both. I do both. I still do a couple loans a month. But
what's your primary business, though, Doc?
What's that?
What's your primary business? So if you're not doing loan signing and stuff like that, what's your thing?
Everything.
I love it. You're a serial entrepreneur, like Salathia from my previous call. I like it.
Well,
are you an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Entrepreneurial minded for sure. 100%. Problem solver, right? I can only help you do one thing, Ty. I mean, listen. What can a notary really do? A notary can only do one thing. You can only do one thing. I put up a video just today on my Instagram, and actually, there's a video that hopefully we can bring it up later at some point, but maybe not right now. But on my YouTube page, there's a 25-minute video where I basically say, we as Notary Publics, we can only do one thing. I can't speak for everybody else. I know some people think they went to law school, they passed the bar, but listen, I can only help you do one thing. I can't give you information on how to drive to Albuquerque. Like, I can't answer your child custody issues. Like, if I did, then that would be illegal, right? And then somebody can come back and say, well, you know, Tiffany Nance, the notary, told me, and then now Tiffany Nance is in trouble, right? I can only help you do one thing, and that's to stamp a document. So my primary business is to stamp a document. That's all I do. If you call me and you need me to sign and to stamp a document, I can help you. If you call me and you ask me that, well, if I'm trying to give temporary guardianship over to my grandmother just while I go out of country or out of town for the next 3 months, or if I go to jail for the next 5 months, I need to give temporary guardianship without full custody. Can I do that? I'm like, listen.
Okay.
Are you trying to find a document? Because if so, I can help you. If you're trying to get an answer to something else, I can't help you. Sorry. No,
you're fine. So people are asking a lot of questions, right? And we're about to get into your specific, your myth busting is what we call it. We're at 11:45. I'm not sure how much time you got today, Doc.
All day.
But one of the questions that came from Crystal, which was, you talked about, I said, Google My Business, right? We talked about picking up the phone. You said there was a step prior to that. What was that number 2? And I think they're saying number 2 was answer the phone. What was your number 2? Do you remember? Yeah. Answer the phone? Well, yeah. Well, definitely, you got to answer your phone, right? Okay. You should absolutely pick up the phone, because there's other people can text me, people can go straight to my calendar from my website, and then they could, book me. But before you get Google My Business, listen, Google My Business will give if you sign for Google My Business, your phone's gonna ring, right? Period. But are you prepared? Are you prepared? Answer the phone and make the conversion. And make the conversion. So that's the step before. I'm saying, do you have the tools? Like I was saying earlier on in the introduction, my intention when I got into this profession was to have a business. I know I needed the tools. Well, over time, I came to the realization that I need tools, because my phone is ringing, but I'm not converting. I need to move these people along in the customer journey. And what I'm saying, when you have a loan signing perspective, Dr. Tekk's signing service is going to give you everything you need, every bit of piece of information you need. Ty's signing service is going to give you every bit of information you need. You're basically going to pick up your phone, you're going to get an alert that says, May 23rd, Sunday at 8 p.m., there's a refinance. It's at this location. You have to print this number of documents. It's for this rate. Do you want it? That's all the information you need, right? And then you make a decision consciously. Probably the first thing you look at is how much money it is, right? You probably look at that, and then you decide whether or not you want to do it. What I'm saying is, that's not going to be the case when someone calls you Sunday at 2 p.m. saying that their grandfather is in the ICU, in the intensive care unit, and they need a power of attorney so that in case he goes into emergency surgery and doesn't make it, they need to be able to handle his affairs. Someone calls you with that scenario, which happens all the time, right? Because people have lives. What do you say to that person? That's the step before Google My Business, right? You don't need these things in place. Again, like I'm saying, these are recommendations, but I strongly suggest you have these built-in scripts, you can call them, templates, you can call them, just something that helps you when someone approaches you with these questions, that you have something in place that you can help these people, right? So I have that, and it's when you have the Notary Public business perspective, those are the tools that you have that you need first, and then you need to learn how to use them, and then you can apply them. And now you're ready for 1,500 different callers a month. You can do that. You can accommodate that. It's systematized, right? A business has systems, and it has these mechanisms in place so that it can accommodate either an influx of business, or when things are not as fast, it can still operate the same way. A loan signing agent, on the other hand, has a different perspective. I give you all the information, then you make. You don't necessarily have to really. I mean, you have to think, right, in your own life, but basically,
I give you all the details about this particular signing.
So question.
And then you make the decision if you want to do it.
So question for you. We're talking about tools, right? And we're talking about General Notary Work, how someone can get started. There's a lot of questions. I'm gonna tell you right now, Doc, you have a lot of people that's not necessarily going against you, but they're like questioning, well, how is that true? And if it's just a stamp, I can do more than just that, et cetera, et cetera. So we're gonna get into those questions and see if we can talk about that. But one of the things that you had mentioned to me in regards to General Notary Work is Thumbtack. Okay. You said Thumbtack is a waste of time. I'm going to have to tell you, I disagree. I make a lot of money through Thumbtack, Doc, a lot. But it's also about the conversion. It's also about knowing how to talk to them. But tell me your thoughts on why you think Thumbtack's a joke.
No, that's the myth.
Okay, cool. Correct me. Let's get it.
Ty, listen, Ty, me and you, we won. We won. Okay. Click.
Y'all see my notes? Oh, I got to get them done. I apologize.
Oh, good.
All right, go
here we go. Those nails done. Put the Cash App up. Put the Cash App. Listen, Thumbtack is a very powerful resource.
Yes, it is.
Extremely powerful. The only people not using it are people who don't know about it. That's all I have to say. Thumbtack is the myth that Thumbtack is a waste of money is it probably is one of the larger myths out there. It's one of them. It's up there. It's definitely top 5 dead or alive. Thumbtack is an incredibly powerful source simply for this reason. Well, 2 reasons. Number one, you don't have to talk to people. A lot of people are introverts nowadays. It's kind of weird. But anyway, I don't like talking to people. You don't have to talk to anybody on Thumbtack, right? Not necessarily. But here's the reason why Thumbtack is so powerful. Again, you only do one thing. I know you want to give advice. You want to, help people out. You love people. You're a service-oriented person. Me too. I went to a social justice type of undergrad school. It was fine. But Thumbtack is so powerful because it delivers the signer right to your doorstep. Here they are. They're presented right in front of you. And chances are they've got, and for those who don't know about Thumbtack, Thumbtack has, now, damn, I don't want to go on a sidebar. All right. Thumbtack, it presents.
I derail all the time, Doc, so it's fine.
Thumbtack, yeah, okay. With your permission then. Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thumbtack gives the signer directly to you, and chances are they have 2 things. You can do opportunities or they have direct leads. Opportunities is basically just a free-for-all. They just kind of put a notice out there, and then people go and try to attract that signer. But they also have what's called direct leads. So that means this person who's trying to adopt a child in Korea to the US, they need to prove their identity. So they need to get this document stamped. They specifically chose you. They came directly to you. They might have gone to someone else before you. They might have gone to someone else maybe a little bit after you, but nonetheless, they landed in your hands, right in your lap. So what are you going to say? What are you going to tell them? Thumbtack is powerful because if you know what to tell them, if you give them your availability, if you give them the option to book you, if you give them the option to pay you, and you set up the channel, the apparatus for this transaction to take place to facilitate this actual movement of helping each other, meaning you stamp them because you have what they have or what they want, and then they pay you because they need to pay you. Thumbtack is powerful for that, and it's incredibly resourceful. Now, some people don't like to use Thumbtack because you have to pay per lead.
Yes, you do.
Right? Yeah. You have to pay per lead. So, but here's the thing, and this goes into another issue. Listen, this is all connected. We're talking about connectivity here. We're going to talk about, that's the word of the day, connection. We got to stay connected, Ty.
Let's do it.
We all got to stay connected. It's all connected. This person comes to your platform. They come to your Thumbtack profile. They want to give you money because you can help them adopt this kid in Italy, whatever it is, because they have to get these paperwork signed, right? So then But now they've landed on you because someone else didn't answer the phone, or someone else didn't respond to their inquiry.
In a timely manner. Yep.
In a timely manner. And now here they are in front of you. Now, you had to pay maybe $5, maybe $4, maybe $6. I haven't seen anything for $6. Have you? Per lead? Okay. Yeah, so maybe it's like $5, just to say that. You pay $5.16 for this person to get in front of you. Oh, I don't want to pay for a lead. I don't want to do that. Oh, well, how do I even know that it's going to be worth it? See, this is what I'm talking about.
They want stuff for free. Ms. Ember said it in the chat, Doc. People want stuff for free. They don't want to have to. To me, some things you have to pay to play. I'm just saying. And your return on investment will equate to that. But you have to analyze. That's just my 2 cents on it.
You got to pay, right? And you should pay it. You should pay it. Thumbtack is a business.
Yes.
Thumbtack gives you people who are ready to do business. Not everybody. I'm not saying 100%, but I'm saying if someone approaches you on Thumbtack, more than likely they're ready to do business. Now, what are you telling this person? I tell these people, hey, thanks for contacting me. I'm happy to certify your documents on the particular day that you want me to do it at the particular time you want me to do it. And not only that, but I can do it at this time and that time as well. If you want to book me, if you want me to do this on this particular day at this particular time that you specifically requested, I can do that. And if you really want to do this, go to this link and then get on my schedule. If for some reason you have a question, no problem. If you don't see the time or the date that you want, no problem. Call me.
That's the key. That is the key. I'm going to say it again. That's the key. A lot of people get in this business and they're like, oh, well, if it's not this and it's not that, then I'm not going to X, Y, Z. It don't matter. In order for you to start your business, you have to give and you have to take, right? You have to be able to accommodate your customers. Because in my opinion, before there was technology, there was word of mouth. And if you treat that customer like garbage, they're going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to go to Jeremiah Amaku. I'm not going to go to Ty because they were just rude as hell. Right? Yeah. I wasn't going to find somebody else. So you have to accommodate your customers. You have to understand, walk them to what you said through the customer journey. So that's my.
Absolutely. 100% cosign, 100% cosign. Because listen, you have a service. Listen, you don't have to help. I know a lot of people who have Notary Public commissions and they let them expire. Maybe they don't just not as active. They got other stuff going on, whatever. Right. But understand though, what you have in your hand, this notary commission is very powerful. All right. I would make the case that it's even more powerful than a lawyer, than an attorney. Because,
I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm a dadgum lawyer. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny. It's like an oxymoron. We can't give legal advice, but we have to make sure the documents that we're looking at is, legally, hey, can we actually do that? No, we can't, blah, blah, blah. Like there's like a fine line. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting.
Right. And if you're an attorney, then I can hire you to represent me. You can speak on my behalf. You can interpret documents for me, make sure I'm not getting robbed, right, by some criminals. But not all lawyers are notaries, right? Some lawyers are. But our stamp makes a document legal. It can now be argued in the court of law. Your signature, your stamp on that document makes something legal. Think about that. That's powerful. You have this ability, or your notary commission gives you this ability. You're a person of integrity. You're a person with a clean background, right? You sign a document and you put your notary stamp on it. You have now given power to this document. Not all lawyers can do that. They can probably look at the document and say, well, this was a bad contract that you signed. I
agree on that. Once you put your stamp and your signature, you're now certified saying that, hey, this is X, Y, Z. I actually have to agree with you, Doc. I have to say that one.
With that said, would you think that some notaries are, more important than, no, that's the wrong question. You're not more important than an attorney, but you have a little bit more power or leverage than an attorney in that sense. I'm not saying nobody's paying me $600 an hour, though, that's for sure. Although I have gotten paid $600 an hour once. But attorneys should get paid. Attorneys should get paid a lot of money because they do a lot of work. They have to read a lot and they have to interpret the law and they have to, hopefully help you get whatever it is that you're getting. But an attorney who creates the document and then stamps it at the same time, or somebody who, let's say, I know a lot of notaries who are like maybe like paralegals, or they do legal document preparation.
Yep.
Like, this is why we say we can't mix the two. You can't wear multiple hats. You can't go and notarize someone's documents and then try to sell them something, right? Try to put it this way. I know a lot of notaries have other side hustles, right? Permit runners, they vehicle verifiers, they real estate investors, they got all this. I have a financial advising business as well. Now, I actually have a license, right? I could technically give you advice. I'm legally allowed to do that, right? Some people give investing advice, or have a Facebook group, and then they start telling people how to play the stock market. Then people lose their money, and now the SEC is knocking on your door, right? Because they start. So be careful when you start. That's what I'm saying. Be careful when you start giving out advice to people, right? Even though I have a license in financial services, I don't. I keep that separate, completely separate. The people who I meet in my Notary Public business, they could potentially get help from me in financial services in that arena, but I keep those two things separate. You got to wear different hats. You can't wear multiple hats at one time. That's when you start getting in trouble. So that's why I'm saying, when you start explaining documents, you're doing something different. You are a notary. You're here to sign and here to stamp. You're not here to explain stuff. Be careful. It's a very, very careful line, and that's what I started to notice. And that's why I started to stay away from loan signing. A lot of the real estate stuff, try to back away from it, and then try to go into general notary work. I don't like that word.
I mean, there's Lori. I forgot her last name. Lori Buer. She says specialty work.
Yeah, I like that word.
You like specialty work? Okay.
Hyper targeted.
Okay. So we have some questions, but we're at the top of the hour, Doc. So let me know what do you want to do?
What you talking about? I'm here with you.
Listen, I always like to check.
Are you out of drinks already? What's up?
Listen, no, I got my drink. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna tell you now, you have some, I don't want to say haters, but you have some people that completely disagree with your thought process. I get it. People have their opinions. So I'm going to pop up some of these questions for you to have a little bit of banter. And then I want to give away one of your audio books. Thank you, Dantrell. Lori Buer. She says specialty work. Okay. One thing real quick. Let me go back to Thumbtack. Let me talk on Thumbtack real quick, Doc. And then I want you to think about a question that you want to give to our audience here. Whoever answers first will get your first audio book. So y'all be on point in just a second. All right. Thumbtack. Thumbtack is an app. You can get it on Android or you can get it on Apple. I think they also have a desktop version as well. There is nothing you have to pay outside of a lead. You do not get charged, from my understanding, unless a direct lead comes to you and you convert that lead, right? I don't know if it's just in a pool where a customer comes and they don't actually come to you and it's a pool. I'm not for sure if you get charged for that. But if a direct lead comes to you, you do get charged based upon the amount that you want to spend per lead. Amy from Cyberized LLC has a hack. I'm not going to put it out there because it's not my place to say it. So if y'all know Amy, hit her up, follow her. She's on Cyberized LLC. She's coming out with a new remote online notarization platform. She has a hack, so hit her up. Darkness Falls. She says, for those using Thumbtack, are you converting the leads to sales? I would say for me, 85% of the people that come to me, I convert. Some of the customers are just cheap and they don't want to pay. So it just depends on that discussion that you have with them, right? So yeah. So
I try not to with the leads to sales. I try to limit as much back and forth as possible. You really should try to, again, you only do one thing. Listen, why are you calling me? Are you calling me so I could give you restaurant tips on, the special for this afternoon? Like, or are you calling me so I can stamp a document? I only do one thing. Again, people will call you and they don't know what a notary is. Because if they knew, they wouldn't ask the question whether or not, well, what do you think about if I sign my name with my middle initial versus my full name if I spell it out. And, if I leave out my maiden name or if I sign it just like what do you think about that? Like, listen, I know I know you're going to say something. I already know that. That's okay. But I'm saying resist the urge to make it complicated. Andre C. Hatchett is one of my best friends, right? I wouldn't say best friend, but he's definitely one of my very, very close friends. And he has a notary business school, right? And he says, simple. When people start trying to complicate things, they start trying to make things very complex. You ever heard of Michael Jackson?
No.
Never heard of that guy, right? Yeah.
No.
He's got this song, if you never heard of him, he got a song called Smooth Criminal.
Yes.
That song is a message. I don't know if you ever listened to the lyrics to that song, but that song is a message. There are people who are smooth criminals. They're asking you questions because they need something, right? They need to get something, right? All notary is about money, if you really think about it. All notary is about whether or not I can get this document, this power of attorney signed so that I can get access to this person's bank account, right? Or I need to get grandmother's $500 million house, boat, car, and the houses in the mountain. I need to get access to this. People want to get, they got their hand out. They want, and again, not everybody, I'm not going to blanket comment, make this mark for everybody, but a lot of notary has to do with money. It has to do with money, right? There are people who really truly care about their loved ones and they want to make sure that their wishes are carried out and that they take the best care. They don't want the state to interfere with their treatment, for example, right? I do a lot of signings in rehab facilities. Nice. But a lot of people really just want the money. And they want it for cheap. That's why they'll contact you on Thumbtack and they'll say, well, how much? The first question they ask you is, how much do you charge, Ty? How much? I can go to a UPS store and get it for $2. I said, really?
Go to the local bank and get it for free.
I said, really? You can get it for free?
Then you probably should do that, sir.
Then you should do that. You should do that because.
But you're calling me for a reason, so there must be a reason. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that reason.
So, all notary is effectively, maybe you don't notice this begin. Okay, I know a lot of people are going to have some issues with what I'm saying, but that's only because you probably never heard a perspective like this. Now, I'm telling you, my perspective isn't invalid. So, I mean, I got numbers to prove that. But what I'm telling you is that if your introduction to the notary profession was through becoming a loan signing agent or a loan signing agent friend of yours, colleague of yours, introduced you to the profession of Notary Public through loan signing, and you were never introduced to the Notary Public business, okay, then of course a lot of this stuff is going to be like, oh, what is this guy talking about? That's not my reality. I saw Mark Wills put up numbers and he said, I can, do this for however many X number of months and I can, go direct. And what I'm telling you is that there is another side of this profession that you might not have ever been exposed to. And it really is, it comes down to a simple switch. Now, Thumbtack is one of the reasons, Thumbtack is very critical because Thumbtack is one of those things that you might have heard of it, but you didn't know that they changed their business model a couple of years ago. I live in San Francisco Bay Area where, headquarters of Thumbtack is right here, right? I can actually go 1599 Market Street, San Francisco. I can actually go to the headquarters. I was very fortunate to meet with one of their executives. And because I wrote the book, Thumbtack For Notaries, and I learned that their business model switched about a couple of years ago. You used to have to pay for leads in batches, right? You would have to pay X number of dollars. Let's say it was $50 and you get like guaranteed 15 leads. But if you didn't know how to convert those leads into sales, like Ty was mentioning, you might have thought that's a ripoff. You got to pay for it in advance. And then just for the highly unlikelihood of you actually getting a conversion. But if you didn't focus on the cost, it's not about the money. If you didn't focus on the money, and instead focus on how you can help this person by being available, by demonstrating your availability, by giving them the capability to hire you, right? Then that $50 that you spent, shit, for 15 leads, I would kill for that right now. $50 for 15 leads, I would kill for that because you know why? All 15 of those leads, I would probably close about maybe 10 of them, right? 11 of them.
Exactly.
And then that would turn into easily $2,000, easily. $50 turns into $2,000 easily. But now that's not their business model anymore. The business model now is that because so many people complained, like it wasn't notaries, it was like photographers and like wedding cake makers, and Thumbtack has a bunch of different stuff like TaskRabbit, like Angie's List. A lot of people complained about that business model, but reality, that's what I was saying. Business, not all business is good business. What makes it a good business is the tools that you use to make it a great business. If you're a photographer, you're a wedding cake, you do designer cakes, and then somebody contacts you, and then you give them the ability to book you, to call you, to schedule you, all in one message. Like you give them everything they need. I guarantee your conversions will go up. Guarantee it. Because people only call you for one reason, and this is talking about notaries, and I can stamp it. If you don't need me to stamp something, then I think that's the end of our conversation. Or I may be able to refer you to somebody. I know I would recommend you work with a paralegal, have a paralegal on your team. You can always refer people that you can't help. Somebody may be looking. I saw somebody talk about immigration specialists. I can't draft immigration documents.
Yeah.
Are you trying to take your kids to Mexico, but you need your baby mama to sign a document, right? I can't do that for you, but I can refer you to a paralegal who could probably draft a document for you, make sure it's legal, so that in case your kid gets sick in a different country, and they say, "Who are you, sir?" or "Who are you, ma'am? Are you the legal guardian? Or do you have any documents that say that?" Because this piece of paper that you hand wrote a letter on is not going to do it in a different country, right? So, and then once you have that drafted document, I can come and stamp that. But I can only help you for one reason. That's to stamp a document. That's
yeah. And this is what I'm gonna tell you. Do you have your question ready?
Yeah. Let me see. What kind of question?
So whatever question you want to think about it. Salethia, I always say her name wrong, and she's so beautiful to me. Salethia from Dotted Line Signings, right? She says you must have a call to action. It's a part of your funnel. I have to say that's very, very true. Because we can have businesses and we can have all these types of advertisings, but when people see your advertising or when people see your business, how are they going to be able to reach out to you? You have to have a call to action for them to be able to reach out to you, whereby you then convert that lead. So I completely agree, Salethia. Completely agree. Okay, you got your question?
Yeah, here's a question.
Y'all ready in the chat? Whoever gets it first, because I know y'all be like, I got it first, Ty.
Okay, how about this? Damn, this is more of I guess it's more of a theoretical question then. I guess, I don't know. All right. What is a will?
Ooh, what is a will? Darkness Falls. You said we're ready. What is
a will?
What is a will? WILL. What is a will?
So I'm supposed to wait for someone to answer?
Yeah. So we can keep talking. I'm gonna watch it.
All right. Okay.
Nikita, next time when I have another interview, I'm gonna have to get Nikita to help me with the chat. Melissa Dominiguez. Oh, I don't want to say her name wrong. Melissa. Last Testament.
Oh, that's the answer. Yeah, she's answering. Okay.
Yeah, they're answering the question. Plan for how you want your estate to be handled. Let's see.
Those are good answers. Can you make it better?
I like that word, Texas Notary Alive. Where you bequeath your belongings after death.
LA Sun Goddess is type.
Yeah. Oh. I like it. Severize it. Free will or document will. Last testament before death. Oh, okay. So listen, you got some smart ones. I knew y'all smart. They're saying what type of will.
Yeah.
Is there?
You can't answer the question with a question. Come on now. See, yeah, that might have been a confusing one, but
yes.
Notarized. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go with Shining Star's answer. A document that needs to be notarized. Well, actually, you know what? A will doesn't need to be notarized. Actually, in California, it doesn't. I don't know if that is.
In Jersey,
somewhere else.
Yeah. So the first person that said it. Let me see. Let me go back. Melissa said Last Testament. Driven Fortitude said plan for how you want your estate to be handled. Texas Notary Live says where you bequeath your belongings after death. Mm-hmm. What's the answer?
Well, I want to first start by saying this. A will, if you knew what a will really was, first of all, the second question is the follow-up question to that is, do you have one? Because
I just
if you know how powerful it is.
You know, I just got one a month ago.
Good.
I know.
Yeah, you should have one. Everyone should have one. Rich or poor, single, broke, whatever, married, you should have one. Because if you know how powerful it was, you would have one. A lot of times people don't have them because they're like, oh, it's for rich people. No, I don't need that. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It is not for rich people. These are some really good answers. I can't really scroll down, in the chat.
What do you need? I got you. What do you need?
Yeah, it's like everybody gets a book now. You know what?
Everybody gets a book.
Yeah, we gotta. I don't know if that was a good question, but let's
scratch it. Redo the question.
All right.
This is what I want you to do. Let your second question be something very, I don't know, educational. Your first question, give something about you that maybe you have mentioned while we've been talking, and see if people have been paying attention and see if they can answer the question. Is that better? That'd be your first. Your second one, you can give a quiz of whatever you want.
Okay. All right. How about this? How long? And give you a little hint. It was months. How long in months would a newbie or new loan signing agent begin to notice that this is that a loan signing agent or a loan signing job is getting becoming overwhelming? Within how many months, generally speaking? I talked about that. There was a time period between one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So Tiffany Nance was the first one.
I think. Oh, she was the first one. Okay.
Who'd you see?
I saw Brenda, I think.
Yeah, Brenda came right after Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you read my answer? I read your answer, Tracy. Some people said 1 day, 1 month, 4, 6 months. Yes, 6 months to a year, Matt Miller. Yeah. All right. So Tiffany got it. So Tiffany, what's your email? How do you want them to reach out to you when they win your audiobook?
Yeah, email's fine. And then email's fine. Then I can just send it right over to you. I can even do that like right now.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Give me 1 second. Let me try to.
I need a better question. Yeah, but once you know what a will is, and what really people should have, and I hesitate to use the word should, but like irrevocable trust. I've been doing a lot of trust in the last month or so. That's actually since the pandemic, since the shelter in place began, and that's appropriate because people are taking care of these affairs. So much uncertainty going on, and having a trust in place gives you so many different protections. It protects, for one, it protects your assets, right? It makes sure that there's a seamless transfer of, property, accounts, assets onto the people who's supposed to receive them, right? Your loved ones. And it gives very clear definitions as to what should happen upon your death. If I do several of these type of trusts all the time, and they need to be updated as well. If you never have one, even if you have had one in place, I know it's a lot of people in our community don't have these documents, right? And I say our community, right? And I've heard people refer to these as death documents, right? And again, if you knew what a trust was, you would have one. If you knew how powerful it was and what it could do for you, you would have one.
Okay. So yeah. I know we had mentioned people say wills are not required to be notarized. But from my understanding, wills have to be notarized to make them legitimate. But I don't know if that's true or not. I got a will from Legal Shield, and they told me I had to get it notarized. I haven't done that yet. So, but yeah, I just wanted to.
California just needs to be witnessed.
Just the witness, yeah. They told me how to get it notarized. Yeah.
The notary can be a witness too.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I can do that.
Huh?
Oftentimes, I'm the witness
Trust is
for
a must in California, Doc.
Yeah.
Matt Miller says a trust is a must in California.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt Miller. Matt Miller gives out some great information.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He is dope. Next question. How come I'm seeing answers before the question is stated? I don't know. There could be a lag, Queen. No clue. No clue. Let me go back to a question real quick. I don't know if Griff is still here, if he left, but he had a question on here. While I'm looking for this question, you had something else in regards to a myth and fact on. You said something in regards to social media coaches and the endless cycle of training. Can you speak on that?
When you start a new job, there's an orientation, right? There's usually a period where you have to get caught up to or accommodated to what the typical systems are, the program that this company uses. I use the example of a hospital. I started a new job in a hospital. That hospital uses what's called an EMR, or an electronic medical record system, right? Rather than you writing everything out about your medical history questionnaire, it gets done electronically, digital, right? So I have to learn how to use these very complex systems. Once you learn how to do it, you're good to go. Yeah, there's going to be some periodic, updating and training, so to speak. Maybe there's a new component of that system that comes out, and you have to learn how to use it. When it comes to signing documents, the documents don't really change too much, right? They don't really change that often. They don't necessarily get updated. I mean, the Patriot Act thing that came out, there's a little bit of variation between the based on what the title company is, the lender, and if there's a bank. There is some variation there, but again, it goes back to the very first point. You are only able to do one thing, which is to sign and to stamp a document. The consistent training and endless cycle of training over and over and over again, it can paralyze you. I'm not saying it will, but it can paralyze you. Analysis paralysis. I've spoken to notaries in person and over the phone, and you could hear it. They may not be able to identify what it is that they're going through, but if someone tells you, oh, I got to a signer's house and I realized that there was a name that was missing on a document, and then I insisted that they have it redrawn, or I insist that they call over to the title company. That's one thing. But then you start saying, well, here on this document is, wow, look at this interest rate. It's so high. Goodness, if you had went to this person, you probably could have got a better rate. Or the other day I saw a 1.99%. You got a 2.67. Wow, right? Banks don't want you to say anything. They really don't. They want you to show up to their borrower's house, verify their identity, and be an impartial witness to this person and make sure they do it correctly, right? But when you have a tendency to start talking and you start breaking down documents and you start explaining documents, you are opening yourself up to some liability. Yeah, you may not have gotten called out by the Secretary of State and said that we need your journal. That may not have happened, right? But let's say that cash buyer investment property that 37-year-old family was trying to get, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, you don't know, you just signed up and you thought you were just showing up, signing a document and shipping over to FedEx, but 41 days later, you learned that it didn't go through. And then that buyer says, hey, well, you know what? The notary said, that's what they love to say. The notary told me, that young woman, that young man, the notary, they told me. And then the bank hears about that. And then, or the lender hears about that. And then they learn that you were explaining documents and you have to, you were, breaking down certain aspects of these documents. They only told you to show up and stamp these documents, verify the witness. You've opened yourself up to some incredible. Now, again, maybe nothing happens, but if you don't say anything, then the people who tell you that, hey, you need to study this over and over and over again, not true. Once you know that the notarial wording is not going to vary much.
No, it don't.
Document, all you're doing is showing up and stamping documents. if you can do it for a loan package, for a refinance package, you can do it for a trust. If you can do it for a reverse mortgage, you can do it for a birth certificate application. It's the same thing. So at some point, you gotta move beyond this fear of constantly training over and over again. You do it once, and then, you know, if something changes that you need to know about, then you update it. But when you start getting it into your head that you need to know everything about this document before you can take it on, it's actually the opposite. You shouldn't know anything about it, right? Because why? You're not an attorney. You're not going to be explaining anything.
That's what I say. A lot of people, not to interrupt you, but it kind of irks me because a lot of people will really dive into loan documents. And don't get me wrong. I think you should have a foundation of what you're getting into. But all of the pages within that document, outside of your notarizations and outside of you witnessing them doing their signatures, it's irrelevant. I think it's irrelevant, and people get so tapped in, and they will go down a rabbit hole. Hey, but what about this? Shouldn't I do this? Nah, nope. That's not your job. Your job is simply to show up, provide the utmost customer service so you can become a preferred agent, right? And treat that customer how you want to be treated. Notarize, stamp, witness them, sign, say have a good day, and hopefully you'll see them again, right? For general notary, or I'm sorry, specialty work, right? So that's just my thoughts on it. I think, and then people put stuff in Facebooks, and I'm not a proponent of Facebook and putting your stuff out there. And I know some people say, well, if that's all I have, that's all I can do. But I'd say find a notary buddy or something, because people go crazy with loan documents, Doc, and they make it more difficult than what it really is. In my opinion, just like Miss Deborah said, it ain't none of my business.
None of my business.
You're to notarize, stamp, and witness.
I feel you on the getting a notary buddy, because there won't be any substitute for that, right? I make it a point, and I know how you feel about the Facebook groups. I think it's very clear about that. I'm not gonna get you started on that, but you know what? I can name 50 reasons why you should have a notary buddy, and you only need one, maybe two, right?
I agree.
Listen, you run a single person operation, right? I don't know, you run out your basement, out your bedroom, whatever. But when you go out into the field and you want to present yourself as an enterprise, right? At least this is what I want to do. I want to present myself as somebody, here's this word, a connection again. You're going to come across a document in which you're not sure how to do it, because either the date is wrong. You don't think you think you should cross it out. You should make corrections. You don't know if you should put initials on it. All these things are going to happen, right? Somebody has a picture of their ID, not necessarily the physical copy of it, or somebody doesn't speak the language, and then there's some confusion. So you're going to have these problems will come up, right? This is what I do. I say, excuse me for one moment. I'm going to step outside and I'm going to call my partner. And this is the reason why I do this, because you never want to make it seem like well, put it this way. You want to give the impression that you have a team of support. When it's just you, now it puts you in a corner, because if something happens, then it's solely on you, right? When you step away, I say, I'm going to step out for 1 second. I'm going to call my partner. I'm going to make sure that we do this correctly. We want to make sure we do this the right time, the first time. We don't want to repeat this. So give me 1 second. Excuse me for 1 second. I call over to a 25-year notary veteran. I say, hey, listen, this person just called me. They don't have an ID, but they do have the witnesses. One of the witnesses doesn't speak English. And, talk it through, because there's going to be a solution. But removing yourself for a second takes the responsibility off you for that moment, and then it makes you seem like you are consulting with an organization, with an enterprise. So having that person that you could rely upon, that you can talk to, or having somebody that you could call in those moments is very crucial, very key. I think is extremely important. And then having somebody who answers the phone is even more.
That's, oh my God. I'm about to do it. You have people out here that pay money, okay? And I'm people know, like, I'm a one woman show. So my turnaround time is tipping into 3 days, but I'm hoping to get better, to get on autopilot like you do, Doc.
Yeah.
But if people pay for something, I'm going to make sure I answer the phone, right? I don't think that it's right that you pay for something and then you have to chase them. Now, some people have to chase me because, again, I'm one woman show and I'm doing my best, but I always try to answer everyone. But I think that it's important that, one, you have a notary buddy that you can trust, you can confide in, right? And also that, okay, if I pay this money, I can depend that when I pay Ty, she will call me back. She will provide the answers. If I call Doc, if I call Salathia, if I call Takesha, Matt Miller, whoever, right? I know they're going to answer my call for me, and I'm not going to be lost in translation, okay? I put up this little blurb for Salathia for dotted line signing. She has a Facebook group called Notary Buddy. If y'all are not tapped into that Facebook group, please do that. Salathia is amazing. If y'all did not see our funny as hell interview, casual conversation last Sunday, check it out. She's dope. You guys will not be disappointed.
Another thing about the Notary Buddy, though, what, and again, people talking about General Notary Work and how to increase their signings or their business. Listen, and in the program that I have, and I don't like to call it mentorship necessarily, right? Because I'm giving you a business, right? I give you your own business, your own set of systems, the engine that operates your Notary Public business. But within that education, I do what's called a competition audit. Now, it's not exactly what it sounds, because what we do basically is this: Google Notary Public, like just pull it up and Google Notary Public, notary near me, notary in your area, whatever it is, whatever keyword search term. Whoever shows up first, call that person. Call the person who pops up number one on your search results. And this is the reason why. Because
I give the same advice, Doc, by the way.
Yeah, you should. You should call the
competition. I'm just saying, but it's a friendly competition. I'm just saying.
Listen, it ain't even competition though.
Compty friends. I love it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I like it. Compty friends. It's not even really competition, because if you can't do it, you can't do it. Because what? You are not available. You got something else going on. Whether you're shopping, whether you went to the beach, you're getting lunch, you're at the signing table, you're just not available, so you can't do this. But what I say is it better to get 0% of 100 of calls, or is it better to get 30% of 100 calls, right? You may not be able to help this person, but you can also refer them. Yes. And when you refer business to other people, they do feel an obligation to do it back, all right? That's psychology, right? But returning, I've built so many relationships with people in various areas. I live in Oakland, by the way, Oakland, California, and I've built relationships with several notaries that either their commissions have expired and then they just give me all their business, and they just take we do a 75-25 split, 70-30 split. I cover all their business. I get 70%, they get 30%, just for making the phone call, right? And if they are in a different area and I don't feel like driving that particular day, I say, hey, you want to take this POA at the Veterans Affairs Hospital down there in your area? This is the price. And it's like, sure, I'll do it. And there's you have the connection, right? the connectivity, and then it also builds business for you when you are not working. Right. When you're not signing. So you can still generate income even during those times. But again, I don't think it's competition, because you can do it anyway. So it doesn't even matter. Right?
I agree. And there's a lot of chat in about the Facebook groups. I plugged Salathia's Facebook group, Notary Buddy. You can Google, I don't know if you can Google Notary Buddy, but if you go into Facebook group, you should be able to find Notary Buddy. I will also say too, that if people, because we were talking about the social media coaches, right, and all that. Okay. If people get confused, let me try to get my thoughts together. If people get confused from a Mark Willis commercial or from other commercials that saying you can make, X amount of dollars, I always say quiet the noise. But if somebody sees that, they go into a Facebook group, yeah, you should do it because you can X, Y, Z, da 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 da. What would you tell somebody that's in a position where they're stuck at a crossroads, either go this way or that way? The noise is over here. Their mind is saying, no, this is not right for me. I think I should go this way. How would you tell them, which lane to go to.
A social media coach would tell you to work more. They'll say, sign up for 1,500 more signing services. When you only use about 5 or 6 of them.
True.
But this is what I say. This is what I say. And this is going to touch somebody.
Probably.
I mean, not like the Holy Spirit, but it's not. It's not about the money.
It never has been for me.
Never has been. I know it's going to be hard and it's going to be difficult to try to switch gears and change your perspective and kind of just you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do it cold turkey, but you have to start thinking that this is about your time. How much is your time worth, right? That's the question I ask. This is not about money. When you see a number that says $20,000 a month, that you get excited. You're like, whoa, I've never seen that many zeros before. Somebody makes 6 figures in a year. Wow. Yeah, you can do it, but it's not about the money. Really, this is what you really want to do. You've probably gotten to the Notary Public profession because you needed some extra income, right? Let's call it. Keep it 100. That's probably what you did, right?
Pretty much.
I got fired from my job. I got terminated from my job. I had a little bit of savings. I was okay, but I walked into another job, right? Easily, right? And I love what I do. I can walk away from the job, to be perfectly honest. I could, but I've invested so much time doing it, and I truly enjoy what it is I do. But at some point, you got to recognize, listen, you need a business, right? Aside from all the advantages of owning a business has, all the tax advantages, all the appreciation, depreciation, the loopholes, and all that stuff that comes with business ownership, okay? Writing things off, expensing things off. But it's not about the money. You see somebody says, oh, I made $17,000 in a month. And you're like, damn, I want to do that. And you think it's going to happen overnight. But really what you want is, I want the ability to generate income when I have the availability to do it. So therefore, you say, I'm open 24 hours, 7 days a week because I want the ability to make money whenever I want. It's not about the money though. It's about your time. Someone calls you and they say, can you come and notarize this document at 2 a.m.? You're like, well, your website says 24/7. Can you do it? No, what you're really thinking is, I'm available 24/7 with the caveat that is by appointment only. So what you're doing is you're lying to people.
That's a marketing tactic. You know that, right?
It's a marketing tactic, but it's a lie.
It is a lie. It is a lie. They pull in their leads and then they get them on the phone, and then from that point, it's all about that conversion.
Well,
all about conversion.
Are you going to answer your phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, Ty?
Well, what'd you say?
Are you going to answer your phone at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Hell no.
I'm not. No. But your website says it's open 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So first of all, stop lying to your callers. Stop lying to these people, right? If you have business hours, get your website up, right? But I take it even a step further. Not only did I say I'm not available 24 hours, 7 days a week, I'm only available during these particular times, but that's a guaranteed appointment. Right? This is a guaranteed, I can show up at your door or at your business or at your office, or at your favorite Starbucks, and I can get this done when you want it, right? So if this message about money is really what you're chasing, you're going to continue chasing forever.
Hang on. I said never chase money, create money. I always say that. Because if you chase money, it's never going to be a business, Doc. You're going to be it's kind of like corporate America. When I was in corporate America, right? I'm a big IT person. When I was in corporate America, I hated waking up because I knew I had to go chase this money to be able to pay my bills, to be able to XYZ, and I wasn't fulfilled. So I did what I needed to do, right? So now I'm creating money to be able to live the life that I want to. I'm still grinding just like everybody else, but I refuse to work for a 9 to 5. Some people do it, and I applaud everybody that can juggle both. But for me and mine, I want to create money so I know I can manage and own what I want for my life, my future, and everything else. So I always say, don't chase, create.
Don't chase, create. I love that.
Yeah.
And this is how I've taken that mantra and then applied it, like practically, step by step. This is how I've done it. This is exactly, listen to me. All right. So I wake up Sunday morning and I've blocked off time from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock to sit here with Ty and sit here with the rest of you guys, right? So after this, my schedule is open. So that means if someone goes to my website, they go to my calendar, or they call my phone, and then my phone tree says, hey, dial 1 if you live in San Francisco, dial 2, press over, and then it'll redirect them to a calendar this caller will see times that, he says, he's not available at 8 o'clock because I'm here. I'm doing what I want to do. And then when I become available, now I'm able to monetize that time that I'm available. I'm able to turn that free time into actual profit time. Right.
Yes. Yes.
I'm doing what I want. You should do what you want to do. You really should. You should do exactly what you want to do. Whether you want to go garden, you want to go change tires, you want to go lift, volunteer at the church, whatever you want, do that. But when you're not designating the specific time when you're available, what's going to happen is this: you're going to be at work, or you're going to be driving, or you're going to be with your friends, going to be with your kids at the pool, at the beach, and then your phone's going to ring. If you don't have a dedicated business phone, which you really should, you're going to say hello. And say, hey, wait, is this Natasha Collins, notary? But then see, now you got to scramble, right? So first of all, have a dedicated business phone. But let's say you're at the beach, and this happens too, right? These are like real stories. You pick up the phone and say, hey, this is Jeremiah Notary. And this, I don't say, how can I help you, by the way? I say, what document can I notarize for you? Because that's all I can do. I skip that. I go right to the point. You call me, right? What document can I notarize for you? They're like, they're not ready for that. It's, I got to get this birth certificate signed. I'll say, okay. Okay, you got your ID? Yep, good. Okay, where do you live? Okay, all right, good. Based on those 2 pieces of information, that's all I need. There's a third piece of information, which is the number of signatures on the document. But if they tell me they got a specific document and I already know it, then all right. Typically, it's probably 1 or 2 signatures. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, okay, where do you live? Good. Okay, got your ID. Can you confirm that you have a valid form of identification that tells me that you have your picture, your description, and is not expired? Yeah. Okay. Good. Go to this link and then book me. End of discussion. There's nothing left to talk about. So it's not about the money. Don't chase the money. Chase the I hesitate to use the word convenience, but the availability, or the ability to use the time that you have available free, and then use that to help another person. It's going to take me a couple of minutes to break all that down, but that's what I do in my program. We don't have the time to do it here, but that's essentially it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's you guys have been, the one thing I will tell y'all, when y'all come and y'all watch the show, I love how you guys network in the chat and you guys answer each other's questions. And I think that's freaking dope. So hang on a second. If you're in the military, how can you fix your phone to treat? There's some questions in here, and hopefully you guys can answer some of those questions. What calendar platform do you use? I use Calendly.
Yeah.
Calendly is dope.
Calendly is dope. Calendly is powerful. And this is what I remember when we first started. You remember what I said in my introduction, Ty?
Yeah.
I said that I hope you come here. I'm excited. I'm in a great mood because there's some people, may not be everybody, maybe only 1 or 2. There's some people who are going to come here. They're going to hear something that they never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to learn something that they never learned. They're going to see a perspective that they didn't know existed. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm excited this morning, because I know there are people out there who do not want to do loan signing. I know that for a fact.
Hello.
I know that for a fact.
I can't do it no more, man.
I'm not doing it. No, I try to stay away from it as far as possible. Matter of fact, if I get a loan signing request, then and I'm gonna step back for a second, but I'm not on the signing service anymore. I stopped doing that. Right? Mm-hmm. They still reach out to me, and I've never taken an NNA course. I've never taken an LSS course. I've never taken any certification. And I still get requests for loan packages every single day, all the time. I stopped responding to them, but there's people who gonna hear something that they that they probably never heard before,
right?
And that's that. You don't want to do loan signing because it hasn't worked out for you, and the reason why it hasn't worked out for you is probably the same reason why it didn't work out for me. It's probably because you got into this to do a business and not a job. And there's no shade. If that's how you get down, that's how you get down. That's cool. Maybe that's how it works in your region. That's okay. Yeah. I happen to live in California. There's a lot of immigrants here. There's a lot of people here. A lot of money here, right? So it works. But
Apostilles.
what I'm saying is, apostilles, exactly. I don't do those either. Because
that's my specialty.
Yeah, the Secretary of State doesn't like my signature. So I got rejected twice, and I was like, I'm not messing up anybody.
That's so funny you said that, because I had a training, not to plug, but I had a training in my clubhouse, the Abnormal Consult. And one of the things that I said to them is the reasons why your document could be rejected is because of your signature. So you just confirmed one of my training pieces that I told everybody yesterday. So thank you.
100%. Yeah. So somebody was trying to buy a villa over in a different country, like Indonesia somewhere, and they needed the document sent to the Secretary of State. And then my signature, they rejected my signature, and I felt terrible. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cause this person a delay in the deal. So I said, you know what? My name is so long, Ete-kamba Jeremiah Amaku, right? And then the way I signed it,
negative.
Yeah. So no more. I referred those out. But when I did a loan signing request,
love them.
I kind of went on high bar there, but when I was getting a loan signing request, typically it's within 24. It's 24 hours in advance. It's more than a day in advance. So if anything I get more than a day in advance, immediately subcontract it out. Immediately. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. But I don't want to do loan signing anymore, Doc. I mean, I do it because it's quick money. But for me, again, a lot of people, like you said, get in for a side hustle, get in because of, extra money, etc. But for me, in loan signing I think somebody said in the chat, I just don't like them, man. I don't like going to people's houses unbeknownst to me. If I'm going to walk into a hoarder's house, if I'm going to walk into just the husband and wife just got into a fight. I'll give you an example. I had a refi. This lady was literally on YouTube, okay, at the table. Her husband said, can you stop doing that? We're trying to sign. No, honey, it's fine. I want to keep watching. Like, literally. Then they got into a full-blown fight. I had to go outside, wait 10 minutes for them to finish, and then come back and do the refi. Okay. Wow. Yes. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. It's too much.
You just got started too. It was just like the beginning. You still got 50 more pages to go.
That was my first signing. That was my first signing. I'm like, oh my Lord Jesus, what am I getting into? This can't be like all of the signings that I'm going to get into. It can't be. And sure enough, I've had hoarders. I've had a lady that had like literally 50 cats, and I'm allergic to cats. 50 cats in her house. Okay, listen, I can go on a whole hole.
Yeah. You know what, Ty? This might sound a little controversial too, but I'm gonna piggyback off exactly what you said.
Do it.
If you can't go into somebody's house, you probably shouldn't go in their house. Like, if you could at all keep from going inside that, you really shouldn't be going into people's houses. Like I know you want to sit somewhere and you got to be cool because it's hot outside or it's raining or it's snowing where you live. But if you can at all keep from going inside somebody's house, you should probably stay out of their house. You just never know. You really don't never. And again, most of the time it's probably okay. Probably safe. Maybe I got some water out for you, put out some cookies, but try to stay out of people's houses. And this is the reason why. You never know what's going on. You never know. You never know. You don't know what the hell is going on in these people's houses, right?
Never.
There was a time where a gun was pulled when I was in the house one time. A pistol was pulled. They showed it. They didn't point it, but they showed it. This family was trying to, grandmother had passed away, grandfather was still alive. They needed to transfer the deed of the house. They need to get, person's name off the deed. And in order to do that, the person has to sign it, right? And then there's some question as to, there's some other documents. There's a question as to who can be a witness. There's one uncle who had been living there for the last 20 years for free. He was a freeloader, didn't want to leave. He didn't understand what a witness was and why he couldn't serve as a witness because he was named in the document. That didn't make sense. Again, notaries resist trying to step in and trying to explain something that's going on between a family. You have no idea. I didn't say anything. I was just sitting there quiet. I could have said something, right? Yeah, but don't say anything. Don't start talking. This guy got so upset. The cousins had to come in because they were going to act as witnesses because they were not named in the document. So they were going to act as witnesses for grandpa who needed to sign the document. Grandpa was like 80-something years old, right? No driver's license, no nothing like that. And they were trying to explain, like, hey, this is legit. This is straight. We're trying to make sure that our property, our legacy is maintained, that his house isn't stolen. This house isn't smooth criminal, like Michael Jackson said, isn't taken away in this really historic part of Oakland, big, nice Victorian houses. He didn't go for that. He was like, no, you guys are up to something. He don't know. He's not an attorney. He's not an attorney law. But what he did know is that his livelihood was going to be changed, and that freeloading for the last 30 years, he might have to move. So he pulled out a pistol, and I said, wow. At that point, if I can do it outside, I'll do it outside. And you know why? This is because I frame the meeting just like this. I meet somebody and I say, hey, listen, hey, nice wife. Hey, nice cat. Beautiful home here. Got it. Nice. Okay. Hey, listen, my name is Jeremiah. Listen, I'm here to do two things, really three things, but two things. I'm here to verify your identity, and I'm here to witness you sign the document, right? You're going to sign my journal. Give a thumbprint if that's okay. That's okay. Good. All right. If you've done this before, this can be done in 20 minutes. If this is your first time, maybe it'll take an hour, hour and a half, right? This is for loan signing. And then for other stuff, general notary work, it's much faster. But I frame the conversation. I go in and I say, hey, thank you for inviting me to your home here. If this is your first time doing this, it could take an hour, hour and a half. Okay, no problem. If you need to read it, go ahead and read it. But if you've done this before, and many people, they've bought multiple properties, at this point, they've done this several times. They're like, yeah, I've done this before. I say, okay, great. We can get done in 20 minutes. How's that sound? And they say, that sounds great. In 20 minutes, we're out of there. Because I'm not talking. I'm not explaining documents. I'm not breaking down interest rates. I'm not going through disclosures. I'm saying, hey, you've done this before, right? Yeah, good. Okay, good. 20 minutes, we're in and out, right? They're like, yeah, let's do it. Get back to your life. I get back to mine. I'm out of your house. You don't want me in your house for an hour and a half? What you want? I don't want you in my house for an hour and a half.
Listen, I don't want to be in anybody's house. I mean, my longest loan signing when I first started was like 2.5 hours. I'm now down to about 20 minutes. And the reason why is because I literally say, hey, have you gone through these documents? Have you seen them? Do you have any questions? Is there anything you need me to go over? Some people will disagree with this. No, Ty, we are on a time crunch. Just give us the papers. I still give a high level, hey, this is errors and omissions, or hey, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. But other than that, just run through it. One thing I am going to say, there's some questions about apostilles. I do trainings for apostilles, y'all, in my clubhouse. I just did 2 of them yesterday. So if you're a member of my clubhouse, there is a fee for it, but it's a one-time fee. I do all of those trainings for you. I've heard discrepancies in regards to other people's trainings. I can't speak for them, but for me, myself, and I do training. So if you're interested, just hit my Instagram and then I'll tell you how to get into the club. Okay.
Get that training too.
What happened?
I say, go get that training.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apostilles are very unique.
They're very,
like those, but I can do with it.
Yeah, I love them, and you can make a lot of money, but at the same time, you can help a lot of people. So
I had a guy who was trying to send some. He was like teaching English in like India, and India has some really strict rules. And what he tried to do was, again, people are cheap. Some people are cheap. They know that they need this work. They know that they need these documents done. But what he tried to do was get 3 signatures. He only got 1, and then he tried to photocopy the acknowledgement on the other 2. And then he got rejected. Yeah, that's what he tried to do. So he told me he only needed 1 signature. I only signed once. Really, he needed 3. He photocopied it. And the Secretary of State was like, hell no. Put this back. So, yeah. That was my first apostille.
Yeah. You have to be very careful. That's so funny because it's funny that you mentioned that, because all the things, and I'm so grateful that this is happening, all the things that you're mentioning that's happened regarding rejections and all that kind of stuff, I talked about on my training. So for you to come in and confirm them, and we haven't talked about it at all, that's people know that I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just saying. Yeah. So very, very good. Okay. What else? We're at 12:50. I know I'm not going to stay on here too much longer.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to my Sunday. I want to get some grilling popping. Okay. What else you want to talk about? Because you have one more giveaway. I think we're going to end at 1:00, if that's cool with you, Doc. You have been amazing in all of your information. A lot of people may disagree with your thought process or whatever, but this is what I tell people. People that I bring on the show is, 1, I love their vibe, their energy. They keep it 100. Matt has been on the show, Salathia, Takesha, now you, Griff, right? Y'all go back to those tubes. I call them tubes, YouTube interviews, casual conversations. Get your gems, because these people They're amazing. And I want to connect with y'all because eventually I'm hoping to have like a major event where I can bring all of y'all together under one stage. And yes, I'm putting it out there. I'm claiming it, putting it in the universe.
Do it.
To have, yeah, it would be dope, man. So yeah. So thanks, Erica. Okay to grilling. Listen, I love grilling. I love it. I'm a chick, but you know, I'm trying to teach myself. Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate you. If there's any other questions for Doc or myself, throw them in the chat because we're going to get out of here in 10 minutes. Doc, do you want to do one more for your last audiobook?
Yeah. There's a video.
Where can people get your audiobook, first of all?
Oh yeah, go to maybe you can put it in. I don't know if I can type here.
Yeah, you can type it in the chat, and then I'll read, and then I'll put it up again.
How do I type?
I don't know.
I'm tripping.
I don't know.
Private chat. Okay. Maybe. Oh, I can send it to you.
Yeah, you send it to me in the private chat.
Well, anyway, go to my Instagram. There's a. Let me see. Can I do it?
You should be able to. Y'all are asking for my Instagram. It is at the Abnormal Notary on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but not really. I'm on LinkedIn, but not really. Instagram is where I have everything. So if y'all want to follow me on my updates and everything like that, just follow me on Instagram. If you don't have an account, don't create one. If you're on Facebook, just let me know, and I'll do my best to get over to the messenger and talk to y'all. All right. This is
I can't do the.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
This is Doc's Tech Music. So make sure you follow him.
Yeah, there's a linkable, like a link in bio thing. You can go get the book there, the Thumbtack For Notaries book. Also on my YouTube page, I don't really post a lot on YouTube, but I'm gonna start doing that maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a YouTube video that I put up there. It's a 25-minute YouTube video. Okay, I'm gonna prepare you for this. It's a 25-minute video on YouTube. The first 18 minutes are me talking about topics having to do with how to price yourself, talking about loan signing versus Notary Public business. And I'm giving some very incredible information about why people call you, and if they don't select you, that should not deter you. That's, like we talked about, that's irrelevant if they don't, because people call you for several reasons other than what you can do for them, which is to notarize something. Sometimes people call you because the bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, told them that they need to get this notarized. Yep. So they're looking for something notarized, but they don't really know what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're looking for something to get notarized. They're looking for something, for some document that they have to get signed, but they don't really know what a notary is. So they look for you. What they really want to know is, how much you gonna charge me to do this, right?
That's what they charge me.
$2, $15, $10.
Yep.
You want to charge me $85 to get this signed? They don't even know what it is. This document that they're trying to get notarized is powerful. I talk about that in this video. I work this up, and I talk about people call you for something cheap, and then they call you for legal advice. Ty, if you want to go talk to a lawyer, how much money you need to show up with? You need to show up with at least $600, $700. You need to show up with an envelope full of 20s and 100s if you want to go talk to a lawyer, right? But not everybody has a pocket full of 20s and 100s like you do, Ty.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna claim it, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there. Yeah, you got a backpack full of money. I saw you the other day.
I wish.
But instead, they call you, Ty, because they know that they need a notary, and they know that you have something to do with legal documents. So they start asking you questions that are related to, legal terminology, or they start asking questions about what they can do and if this will be okay. If when you sign and stamp this document, will this give me what it is I'm trying to get? They're asking for legal advice. So this video on YouTube that I just put up, it talks about how to price yourself and why you shouldn't be afraid of pricing yourself very high, right? More because you're going to get, all this very stuff. And then have people call you for legal advice.
Imposter syndrome. I'm going to call it imposter syndrome. Sorry. What's your YouTube channel called?
Go to my linkable. Go to my Instagram.
You know your YouTube channel?
I do know. It's Dr. Tekk. It's Dr. Tekk. Dr. Tekk.
It's Dr. Tekk. Hang on, I'm gonna put it up.
Yeah. Dr. Tekk, yeah. But the end of this video, it's a 25-minute video. The 18 minutes is me talking, and then guess what happens?
What happens?
I get a call. I'm literally recording myself. I get a call, and exactly what I talk about, exactly what I say about people asking you for legal advice. I put the phone on speaker so you can hear every single word, and I'm telling you, It's almost like I planned it. But I'm saying, if you go to my Instagram, there's several videos of this example. When you start venturing out away from loan signing, and I guess I'm kind of making it sound bad, but it's not bad. This is what you want, because you can help people. But people call you for all these reasons. What I'm saying is that you got to be able to help these people. You just put them on your calendar, or you refer them out to a paralegal or whatever. But resist the urge to try to be an attorney. All right, you're not a lawyer. Resist. I know you can help people in certain ways, and you have some information that the typical person doesn't have just by virtue of you being a notary. You're very educated, you're prepared, but resist the urge of being an attorney. And the end of this video is this person calling me, asking me about a divorce paper that they drafted themselves, handwritten, and that they want their, whatever, baby daddy, baby mom, whatever, to sign it. And if they sign it, will this then give them a divorce? I'm like, listen, I'm not an attorney. I don't know. It might, but it might not. But if you want me to sign something, if you want me to sign something, you want me to stamp something, if that's what you're looking for, I can do that. But if you want me to interpret, marriage law, I can't do that.
Facts. So
get the book, y'all. Get
the book. It's called Thumbtack For Notaries, right?
Yeah, it's a great book. It's a fantastic book. I have a signing system. I have a automated signing system. It's basically how you walk your customers through the point of contact and to the point you get paid. And this book is the lead generation aspect. There's the voice assistant aspect, and then there's a scheduling assistant aspect. This all works in the background. Like I said, I'm currently here talking to Ty, enjoying myself, enjoying Sunday. But in the background, there's a Notary Public business on autopilot, and it's scheduling people. I show you how to do that.
Beautiful. Valerie from Williams Mobile Signings. What's up, Queen? Haven't seen you in a while. She says your book is great. I love it. SJ Johnson, do you train on other platforms? Ty, I have an Android, so I don't have access to Clubhouse. So Android is now open for Clubhouse. If you need an invite, I think I have 11 of them or something. I don't know. Just hit my DM and I got you. You're welcome, Tiffany. Queen C has been awesome in the chat. I appreciate you. I'm just trying to make sure I have anything else. Matt Miller, I want you to know something, King. If you're still on here, I want you to come into the Abnormal Consult, and you and I are going to have a conversation, King. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to text you. What else, Doc?
The other thing, listen, we can do this all day, but I don't want to be all day.
I know. And Miss Deborah has invites too, y'all. I'm sorry, Doc. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. To give out?
I think. To give out. So if y'all need invites to Clubhouse, hit up Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah, put your handle for Instagram in the chat, please. Mine is at, what is mine? At the Abnormal Notary. Hit me. It's fine. I got you. Yay, Matt. Woohoo. It should be fun. Okay. They want to know where to find your book, Doc.
Why can't I type in here? I thought I could type. I know I can, but I don't know. I guess I'm slow this morning. Let's see. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change my name, and then I'm gonna put the link in my name. How about that?
I like it.
All right. So, because I know that there are people out there, so I just changed my name. And so, because I know there are people out there who they know what loan signing is, but they don't really want to do it, and I know for a fact that they don't want to do it. I'm for those people, right? My focus, my laser focus is on the Notary Public business, and that's it, right? What I talk about has nothing to do with loan signing. I talk about loan signing not in a bad way. I talk about it in a complimentary way, but I talk about it from an educational standpoint. But what I talk about is the business of loan signing. And Thumbtack For Notaries is a great book because it goes into, you kind of get a glimpse as to the beginning. If you're just kind of stepping out of loan signing, it's a great introduction to an incredible resource where you can get business from, or you can get leads from, and how you could really, how you can get, when you get those leads, how you could convert them, and be confident with it. And it's a resource. It works. It's incredibly useful.
Bag. That's what I say, Doc. Add it to your bag.
20 minutes, $20 a week is what I dedicated specifically to Thumbtack, and it's the ROI. It's unreal. You know what I'm saying? I give $20 and then I make it back like in. I mean, the one signing will make that back. A one whole week of investment will come back like in one signing. So,
what you put in is what you get out. That's what I say.
And listen, don't sleep on Thumbtack, okay? Just that's all I can say. But get the book. The book is fantastic. If you've been a part of this professional operation that Ty has going on, I have to compliment you, Ty, on this. I love the way you do this.
Thank you so much.
Put in the code abnormal, you get 51% off. That book is 51% off right now. And I want to say that it is the most expensive book that's out there on the market. And I didn't do that intentionally, but the reason why I did that is because my name is on it. All right. I'm putting my name on that book, and I stand by everything that's in that book. And I guarantee that what's in that book is honest, it's truthful, and it works. And the regular price is $47. Yeah, but you can get 50% off right now. And then, in June 1st, it's going to go right back up. I know this book will work. I know it will work. If it doesn't work, then call me out. Okay. I'm putting my name on this book. That's why I price it at that range, because you're going to apply it and you're going to get it right back. You're probably not using Thumbtack the way you probably should be using it, or, and again, this isn't like unknown information. This is just what a lot of notaries have been told to do, right? Because they haven't been given this perspective. And then I'm giving you a different perspective of what to do. You are conveying the message to these people who are looking for you. They're not worried about how much you charge. They're not looking about they're not worried about your business hours. They don't want your business card. They want to know one thing and one thing only. When can you be here?
Yep.
That's it. I called you today about business. I didn't call you about business today for tomorrow. I called you today about business. So can you come today? Can you come in 5 minutes? Or are you going to be grilling with Ty? You eating burgers and chicken and stuff. So get the book.
Is it on Amazon? They're asking. Is it on Amazon? Is it on your website? Where do they go?
On my website, yeah. There's only one place you can get that book. Only one place.
What's your website?
I put it in my name, linkable.to.goldenstamp. Yeah.
What?
You see my name? I changed my name.
Oh, snap. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
It's in his name, y'all. Let's see if I can get it. Linkable.t/goldenstamp, right?
Yeah. It's linkable2.goldenstamp, yeah.
Awesome. That's where y'all can get it. I'm gonna leave it up there for a couple of more minutes. Ribs. Yes, the code is abnormal notary, right? Or is it abnormal, Doc? Which one?
Abnormal.
Okay, so let me update it. So the code is abnormal, y'all. Abnormal.
Yeah, Thumbtack is a great source.
I love Thumbtack. I got to get back on it.
Get on it.
I've been trying to work on my apostille business and doing some things there. So
is it very active in Jersey, the apostille?
Yeah. I mean, this is the melting pot, right? Melting pot. So you have New York, you have New Jersey. There's 100+ consulates here, so I have access to all of them. Yeah, I had a customer that, ironically, you had mentioned Indonesia, and I had a client that was doing business in Indonesia. So I actually went on IGTV Live and showed people I was going to the Indonesia consulate, showed them the document, you know what I mean? Yeah, I love it, actually.
Wow.
Good money.
Yeah. People are kind of afraid of that. They're intimidated by that.
They are. But that's okay. Yeah. Give it to me. I'll do it.
Yeah. I got to watch those. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to put this back up here again.
Other than that, when you guys are out there, and listen, there's a lot of information out there. Just make sure the information is pertinent to you. A lot of information is free. I love the fact that YouTube has a ton of information out there. It's free. But to be honest, you should have somebody that, listen, I've paid for coaches, okay? I've spent a lot of money to have people coach me. And, it's going to accelerate your progress. Like, time is very important. Money is important to some people, but really, you're not getting time back. It might take you 2 years to get to the finish line, or the proverbial finish line, what you're trying to get. But you may want to dip your feet in the waters of certain ventures. Cut the crap, okay? Pay someone to show you how to do it. or pay for a resource to show you how to do this thing, because for one, that shows you're serious. It psychologically tells yourself that you're serious. It tells your prefrontal cortex that you're not like, it wants to protect you. Like, I'm talking about brain anatomy here. That wants to protect you from things that may be presumed as dangerous. So you want to resort back to comfort. But this is going to be, it's going to feel uncomfortable, right? You're going to know this coming. That coach, someone like Ty, someone like me, we're there to show you that, listen, you're going to get rejected for a certain signing or a certain type of document. That's okay. You didn't want that person. That's not the person for you.
Next.
And yeah, so when you, this is how you're going to show, that's how you're going to move on to the next step. We're going to help you sort of navigate those minefields, because it's going to come. And if you don't know it's coming, that might be what knocks you out, and you may never recover because you didn't know how to approach it. And having someone to show you how to get around these obstacles, trust me, I've paid for coaches, and I would have paid them more if I could, because the lesson that you get from those discussions, those talks, and those demonstrations, that's the true skill.
Yes, valuable.
Yeah. Now you know how to do it for yourself. Right. That's why I say I'm want to create business owners, right? I want, my goal is not to create more employees for title companies and signing services. I want to create, you have your own business. You have your own engine that runs your operation. Yeah. Right? Every car needs a motor, so you can't, unless you're just gonna be on foot. Fred Flintstone in it.
Right. All right. So people, your drink is out. People literally went to the site that you gave. Hey, let's go. People are saying the code's not working. You have to put it up, right? It's not available yet, right? So when will the code be
working? Make sure you're spelling it right. If that doesn't work, then use the code early, EARLY. But it's probably time activated. Hopefully it's not on East Coast time. So, but yeah, use the code early, EARLY.
All right. So abnormal's not working. Use early. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it. They did have some questions. Can you find apostle work on Thumbtack? I don't know, actually. I don't know if that's a service.
I've never seen it.
I don't think so. Yeah. Any other questions? But coding will work. All good. Again, if abnormal does not work, y'all use early, EARLY. And if y'all want to get into the apostles, y'all have to sign up to my clubhouse, the Abnormal Consult. If you have someone that can sponsor you and give a reason why you should be in the club, get with that person, because my club is all about chill vibes, and it's not about the nonsense, people calling people names, being rude. It's not about that. We're all about learning, networking, and being better. RL Knox. So Doc said if abnormal it's abnormal. Okay. If abnormal is not working, use early, EARLY. All right. What else? So Doc, abnormal. I think abnormal. Okay. So we have one more audiobook. Are we done with the audiobooks? Did we ever give everything out already?
No, we need one more. We gotta go one more.
Okay, one more. Then after that one, I want you to close it out with some motivational speeches. And then I'll close, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay. Another question?
Yeah.
Another question about something I said? Okay. How about this? Okay. All right. How about this? How about this? Let's do, what city do I live in?
Oh, come on, y'all.
Is that too easy?
Nah, that's it. That's what it is. Yeah. What city does Doc live in?
Maybe someone caught that. First person who said that.
Yeah. So what city does Doc live in? Linda won it. Yeah. Linda, you are correct. He lives in Oakland. She lives 30 miles from you, I believe.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yes.
Cool. You gotta, if you live 30 miles, then that means you're just within my area. That means I can call you.
All right. So Linda, reach out to Doc, and he got you. All right.
Oh, they gotta come to me? I thought they go to you.
Oh, hell no. You know what? I used to do that. I can't do it no more, Doc.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do it, right? They just gonna
Yeah,
email.
I can do it.
They just gonna email you.
Yeah, make me work. Okay, I'll do it.
You know, you got
I would
it.
say reach out to me on Instagram. But
Instagram. All right.
yeah, reach out to me on Instagram.
All right. So for the winners that have won his audiobooks, reach out to him on Instagram, Tekk Music, and he got you. All right. You are very welcome, Katrina. Thank you so much. And thank you again for joining my apostille class. I appreciate you. The answer to where he lives is Oakland. Oakland. All right. Let's get out of here, Doc. What inspirational words would you give aspiring new season and even the scumbags? And I said it, y'all. I apologize. Those that are out there calling people names in the Facebook group that are not treating people with respect. Like y'all need to knock it off. Like it's ridiculous. Wow. What inspiration for people? Yeah, man, they're crazy. Even on Clubhouse, yo, they literally demean people. They talk about people. It's not right. And if people know me, I get really pissed off. And God is working on me because I'll be quick to tell somebody off, but I'm doing better these days. So you know.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. I would say resist the urge to use two hats, to wear two hats. Really don't try your best not to. Listen, you're a Notary Public. You are a person of integrity, and you provide a very vital, critical role in someone getting their business taken care of. It's not always purchasing a house. It's not always transferring guardianship or getting their 401k rolled over. Sometimes it's just somebody got their car impounded and now they've got to retrieve the items in the person's car. It's all kind of stuff, but resist the urge to try to wear multiple hats. So when you go into someone's house or you encounter someone's private life, because you learn all about their lives, you know, help them do what it is that they're trying to do. You might feel sorry for this person and you may want to help them. And if you can, you know, refer them to, say, my partner can help you with this. I noticed that you have that going on. If it's okay with you, I'd love to give your contact information over to my partner, if that's okay with you. But when you try to say, oh yeah, I'm a notary, but I also, you know, I also prepare documents. And listen, this will is going to help you with that. But what you really need is an irrevocable trust. You need the whole package. You need the power of attorney. Like, resist the urge to try to wear multiple hats at one time. If you need to circle back around and then maybe follow up with that person in 24 to 48 hours and then maybe, you know, with their permission, discuss what it is that they have, that may be a better approach. This is a great, fantastic profession. Notary Public,
yes, it is,
has taught me a ton about legal documents, and I've met the president of like the water board. I've met the some very famous attorneys in Oakland. I've seen the inner workings of how land gets purchased here, and land here is Ty, you better show up with $1 million+ here.
Right?
Cash too. So I've seen how these things work, and it's very powerful to have knowledge of this information. But again, a lot of people don't know what you know. You want to tell them, you want to help them, but like, take your time, slow down, connect with the people that are around you, find a better way to engage these people and how to help them. But when you start trying to sell people stuff and you try to, you know, help them with legal documents, especially when you didn't go to law school, because you don't know their whole situation, they've got to sit down with professionals and then they've got to work those things out. But if you can connect somebody with somebody, do that. But don't try to prepare documents and then stamp them. Right? Don't you know, sign documents and you know, try to do all these multiple things. You know, I've learned that the hard way. You know, keep your mouth shut.
I agree. Mind your business. Do what you need to do. Yeah. This is what I'm gonna tell you, Doc. A lot of people took away from this conversation what you see on the screen. I got that to automate and network. Yeah, that's what they got from your conversation, and that's dope.
That's it.
Yeah, so make sure you follow Doc on Instagram. He's Instagram Tekk Music. If you have not gotten his book, please go do that right now. He is offering 50% off. Use the code EARLY. Abnormal, what people are telling me is not working.
Okay. I'll look at it.
No, that's all good. Early, EARLY. All right. You can find his book here. Make sure you go there. All right. For all of you that are not following me, make sure you follow me on all my channels, mostly just Instagram. If you're not a part of my clubhouse, The Abnormal Consult, please do that. There is a membership fee unless you can get sponsored by someone. They can explain to me why you should be in the club. And yeah, apostle trainings, all you guys are asking about it. I may do another round, but I'll see what the level of responses I get, because the next training will be about legalizations and authentications. Okay. So with that being said, create money, don't chase it.
Yeah.
Noise around you. You guys be blessed. Have an amazing, amazing week. Doc, thank you so much. Blessings to you, King. And we will be in touch.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
All right. See you.